Every day at Sierra, you'll find top brand apparel, footwear, and gear for 20 to 60% less than department and specialty store prices. And during clearance time at Sierra, those incredible prices are 40 divided by 2.5, carry the 1, even lower. And when you shop clearance at Sierra, you can save a whole lot more on everything you need to get active and outside. That's a lot of saving. Epic brands, vast selection, teeny tiny prices. That's Sierra. Visit your local Sierra store today or shop online at Sierra.com.
In postseason football, you need to find that extra gear. On FanDuel, it's called Playoff Mode. Big boosts, more rewards, and a whole new way to live parlay with Drive SGP. Turn on Playoff Mode, only on FanDuel.
New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. 21 plus and present in select states. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com.
Is Oregon coach Dan Lanning on the hot seat? It's just a joke. Should Dante stay or go? The transfer portal is a madhouse. Welcome to another episode of the Ducks Confidential podcast. I am Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian OregonLive. He is George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. If you notice, we're wearing the exact same clothes as we were in the other podcast. We had to shut that one down. It was like 50 minutes, and we still had 5 topics to go. I was like, this is gonna be a 3-hour podcast. We better split this bad boy up. So here we are, George. I hope you're okay after that drubbing I gave you in the last podcast. Wow. See, I had to go there, right? I had to start some trouble. All right. So we talked about, if you didn't catch the first podcast, we talked about the Indiana loss. We talked about the season, overachieve, underachieve, blah, blah, blah. We went on and on about a bunch of different things pertaining to that season. We're putting that in the past, and now we're going to start looking forward, but we're going to start with what was so predictable and inevitable. And I'm going to go on a tangent about this in a minute, but I'm going to let George go first so he can get it out of his system. But it was so predictable that with that loss, it became is it time to ask questions about Dan Lanning nonsense, which was just hilarious to me because it's so cliche. George, you were going off about it on social media. I think you did a video about it. I responded to some people because it was just so clownish. I'm going to let you go first on how insane it is for anyone to talk any ish at all about a guy who's 48-8 before age 40. You go.
Honestly, Aaron, it made me so upset because it was so insanely stupid. And yes, if you were one of these people and you have not sobered up and realized that what you said is stupid, yes, I'm talking to you. We have to understand that we live in a culture now where it is that if you didn't win the championship that year, you suck. Or that we have to start asking questions. Is it time to start asking questions about them? Aaron, after Ohio State lost, because I go on message boards a lot, I watch like pods like this from other teams. Like I watch their reactions like immediately after the game, right?
Right.
I was watching in Ohio State one right after they lost to
Michigan.
No. After they just lost to Miami.
After Ohio State lost to Miami?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I thought you went back to last year. My bad.
You don't remember this?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So this is 2 weeks ago or whatever, however long ago it was.
Glorious day, by the way. Glorious day.
Yeah. One of the topics on the podcast was, is Ryan Day still the right man for the job?
Right. But they might have said yes. They might have just did that as a teaser.
They did say yes.
Okay, they probably did it as a teaser, but still, yeah.
But no, it wasn't even in the front of the podcast. It was in the middle. I was like,
you're luring people in with that headline. Is my point. They may not have really meant, is he the right? They're just like,
no. That wasn't the headline.
Oh, it wasn't the headline.
Like it was just reaction to the Miami game. Like that was That was the video. It didn't say anything about Ryan Day in the title, the description, none of that. Okay. It was, I mean, of course it mentioned his name in the description, but I'm saying like it wasn't presented as is Ryan Day, like this was just part of the natural discourse, like where we got to talking about Will Stein in the middle, you know what I mean? Of the last pod. Like, and they ultimately landed on yes, right? And then I watched the Georgia one after they lost to Ole Miss. They asked the same thing about Kirby Smart. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, we have reached the crazy portion of the program. I was like, they're gonna turn me into Aaron Fentress. Like just the idea that a coach that's 48-8 in his fourth year as a head coach. And and then you're asking this about the guy who won a national championship last year and was back in the playoff this year, a guy who just won back-to-back national championships like 4 years ago, and then has been in the playoff every year but one. We're asking these questions? Like and Oregon fans specifically, what questions would we ask about Dan Lanning? Think about the 8 losses. He lost to Indiana twice, the team that's probably going to win a national championship or at least playing in the national championship, right? Twice. Okay. So you didn't lose to anybody else. Last year, you lost one game to the eventual national champion in the playoff. The year before that, you lost 2 games again in his second year of coaching against the team that played in the national championship and had 3 first-round draft picks and had like 10 draft and then the only other games that you have lost to a 10-win Oregon State team and to Georgia who won the national championship that year.
Was there another one? What's the other one?
That's it. No.
Named 7.
No, you got 2
to Indiana, Ohio State last year, the year before the 2 to Washington, Georgia, Oregon State. Oh, they lost another one to Washington.
Yes. Okay. So, and that was another 10-win team. Right. So and then they're like, oh, he's James Franklin. Dude, we're talking about a man who's in his 4th year, Aaron, as the head coach. Do you know how many other coaches have? First of all, there are only 3 active head coaches that have a national championship right now. Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, and Ryan Day. And it was 2 before last year. And it was 2 before Ryan Day won last year. And after this year, there will be 4 active coaches with national championships. So how are we questioning anybody that's consistently making the playoffs? And then as Oregon fans, the audacity to...
And to be fair, it's a small percentage, but go ahead.
Yes. I'm talking to the small percentage. The audacity that you would even fix your face to question whether a man who chose you when the last 2 coaches you were crying about that left you, and a man who chooses Eugene, chooses Oregon, turns down every job and is like the grass is damn green in Eugene and everything else. That's the guy you want to push out or talk trash about or question? The team has progressively gotten better every single year. And this is a question? I talked to a bunch of former players. Some of them were at the game. Some of them were on the sideline.
Jonathan Stewart went off on Twitter.
Yes. And they were like, you know what? I gotta take a break for a minute. I gotta take a break from like fans for a minute. Like I gotta take a break. If I had the ability to take a break, if this were not my job, I would take a break. Because that's how mad it had me, Aaron. It's not based in reality. Just until Miami got in the college football playoff, Miami fans on their message boards and everything, and you're a Miami. I don't know if Cristobal can do it. I mean, he's not winning his game management, and this and this and this. Every single coach has flaws. Ryan Day, when Ryan Day was going to be the play caller for Ohio State against Miami, I was like, damn, they might lose. Because it's too hard to head coach and play call, and he gets super conservative. And he's got a national championship. Mario Cristobal, sometimes the in-game management and the physicality, he wants to be so physical that like sometimes they end up in rock fights when they should blow people out. Like Dan Lanning is hyper aggressive. Sometimes it bites you. Sometimes like it's Nick Saban. He refused to change his offense for a long time, and then when he finally did, he started winning. And Dan Lanning's in his 4th year. None of these coaches have won before year 6. None of them. And they're like, Kurt Cignetti he's in year 2. No, he's 63. Not. He's been a head coach for 15 years.
Wait, head coach for 15? Oh, yes. Where was he before JMU?
He was at Elon.
FCS. FCS, right?
Yeah. He was at Elon. And before that, he was at IUP.
Right. And he's 60-something.
Yes, he's 64.
He's old enough to be Dan's father.
Yes. Like what the and they're like, well, he did it in 2 years. No, Indiana is on a magical run, and coaches are still trying to figure out how to adapt to this landscape of college football. Because first, it used to be talent acquisition, right? Like how much talent can you collect and then just stack them going through as they go to the NFL, next guy comes up. But now, because of the portal, which we'll talk about in a minute, the philosophy now has to change. Is that like, yes, you want your frontline starters to be NFL guys, but you also need them to try to stay the way they're older. And then now you're going to have to fill in gaps with guys from the portal who are older,
grown ass men,
but are productive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like productive at other places. So like you got to find a balance between stacking talent from the high school and then also bringing in guys who are older to like supplement. It's a moving scale because of the changing landscape of college football.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to take a different angle to this because it's just hilarious to me because so people made Mario out to be a god at Oregon. And I kept saying he's a really good coach, but you know, he's not a god. And of course they were trashing the previous coaches. He's so much better than blah, blah, blah. And I would point out the 2019 team was made up of recruits, mostly from the Helfrich and Taggart era. He didn't build that team, but I gave him credit for coaching the team and preparing the team and doing everything that goes into that. But you still had to give respect to the players who were recruited under the previous coaches. But what fans like to do is they want to trash one coach in order to prop up another. And it drives me nuts, right? So now I said, look, down the line, when Lanning came, then it became, let's trash Mario. First, it was like Mario would never leave Oregon. He's amazing. He wouldn't leave. And then he left. Then it became, let's trash him for all the games he lost that we don't think he should have lost. So then I became the defender of Mario. Before I'd put out Mario's flaws to defend Helfrich and company. And then I was starting to point out that Lanning hadn't done XYZ to defend Mario, but I knew eventually Dan was going to have some struggles and I'd end up having to defend Dan against the nonsense. The reality is this: Mario and Dan are both very good football coaches. They have flaws. All coaches have flaws. I was sitting before the Indiana game. I was sitting at a table with a few other reporters and the subject came up and they were like, Mario lost some big games. He was a good coach, but he lost some big games. I'm like, Dan's lost some big games. Yeah, but it's different. And then, I know exactly. And then Dan went out and got blown out in another big game. So the point was these guys were criticizing Mario for losing big games. And I'm like, he also won 2 conference title games as the underdog. He also won at Ohio State. He also won some big ass games, and Lanning has as well. But yes, he's also lost some big games, but you can't lose big games unless you get in position to play big games. And he's done that every single year he's coached as a new coach. Then now the Miami fans are just being insane. Miami fans were trashing Mario the first 2 years, especially what was that one loss where they ran it when they could have taken a knee and fumbled?
Georgia Tech. That was
oh my God.
Dude, that was a mistake.
No, it was horrible. But yeah. I was like, wow, that was bad. But I wasn't like, fire Mario. Dude, Miami Hurricanes fans lost their mind. But now that they're in the championship, they're running around going, don't ever try and say Dan Lanning's better than Mario, blah, blah, blah. And so it's just fans are just so emotionally ridiculous that you almost can't even deal with them. But let me make this point real quick. Mario Cristobal, yes, he's in his 4th year at Miami. And someone said that Dan was left a Ferrari by Mario. And I was like, wait a minute, a Ferrari without a quarterback that had got blown out twice by Georgia or by Utah, and then began the next season getting blown out. That was Mario's roster for the most part, other than the quarterback and a few other pieces, obviously. But still, that was mainly Mario's roster. Got blown out by Georgia. So Dan Lanning was left in a very good situation, but he wasn't left a Ferrari. That's just ridiculous. The reality is this: we don't have to trash one coach.
Ferrari?
Huh?
You know when a Ferrari was left? There have been a couple times that Ferraris have been left. One of them is at Miami when Larry Coker,
Larry Coker took over for Butch Davis. Right.
He got
was taking a Ferrari. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, there's others too. But anyway, so my overriding point here is this. Yes, Mario in his 4th year is in the national championship game, but Mario's in his 15th year as a head coach. And he's 55 years old. That's a lot of experience, even as an assistant. That's just, Dan has to be allowed to mature and grow. And how do you do that? By getting your face kicked in. Now, there was some other clown who said something about you wouldn't see all these other coaches who've won national championships get boat raced in big games. He said big games. I'll give him that. But I went and looked at Saban. I looked at
Saban got
Sabo's career. There's every year in their first years or whatever, they got smushed. There was one.
No. Even in the 14 playoff era, Clemson beat Alabama by like 30 points.
Yeah, they destroyed them. Exactly.
And Ohio State got blanked, Aaron. A bagel in the college football playoff. Notre Dame has been blown out.
Right.
Georgia has gotten beat. Michigan has gotten blown out. Alabama's gotten blown out. They just got blown out again. Like the Oklahoma has gotten dog walked. Michigan State, Florida State. We did it to them. Georgia did it to TCU. Aaron, it's frustrating, and I'm gonna let you finish your point. But I got a question for you.
Sure.
You said. I talked about it that Dan Lanning was going to struggle, Mario was going to struggle. If we're being realistic, what have Dan Lanning struggles actually been?
Well, that's what I'm saying. My struggles mean struggling in that you're going to lose some big games. Not struggling like you're going to go 8-4, but struggling that you're going to have moments where you just get smashed.
Yes,
it's just inevitable. It's just inevitable. Now people can make the argument, well, that's 2 back-to-back bad playoff losses when you were slightly favored, slightly dogs in both. You can't say, I mean, you can make the question of what is happening in these situations, and that's fine. Like, I get that. But again, it's part of his evolution. Now, if 8 years from now, it's the same thing over and over, then you can call him Franklin. But you can't do that after 4 years.
And the other part,
one thing real quick. The trajectory is still up because, like I said, this year, to me, was an overachieving season because they were so young. And you had a quarterback that was green coming off of sitting out a year and getting his head kicked in, admittedly, his first year at UCLA. He ended up playing very well, but not quite at championship level. But this team with 18 new starters to go to the Final Four is an overachievement. I don't care what anyone says. And the fact that most of them are coming back next year shows that things are still going up for Dan Lanning and the Ducks. Go ahead.
Yes, and there's not a culture problem because of the portal, and it's like
so
they're
funny.
like Dan is struggling. Well, the issue is that he can't hire good. You don't win this many games without hiring good coaches. You don't win this many games to win a national championship. It requires talent. It requires a cohesive team, and it requires luck. It takes luck. It takes luck to get into the playoff, like in terms of who you play, where you play them, your injuries, the referees. Like there's a lot of things that factor into whether you win a national championship or not. And it's like, I mean, like, even if you look in the NBA, Aaron, do you think that the Toronto Raptors have a national champ? I'm sorry, they have an NBA championship, but everybody knows that they weren't necessarily the quote unquote best team. if Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson don't get hurt, they don't get a championship. It requires some luck about these things as well. But now we can move on, I guess, to the culture problem. Because Oregon has, I think, 20 players in the transfer portal right now.
I think 25 right now.
Okay. Either way. So there were 14 prior to the playoff. None of them were starters.
Right.
And out of the 25 kids in the transfer portal, they were really pushing to keep 3 of them. Ashton Porter, which they didn't want to leave, and they didn't want Blake Purchase to leave. Like those are the first 2 that they did not want to leave at all. And the reason why those kids left is because Mateo and Tatum Tuioti came back, and they did not want to split reps with them, even though they have been having a lot of success and all of that stuff. And it actually probably helped them to be better that Amari Washington is coming back too. So now it's harder to block everybody, so you can't double team people. But this is the way of the world. Ohio State has 29 players in the transfer portal. When you recruit at a high level, when you recruit, high 4- and 5-star talent in this era of college football, if they don't play by 2 years, they're going to bounce, because they also see the writing on the wall, like that if a freshman ends up starting in front of them or playing a lot in front of them, they're like, oh, I'm never going to get on the field here. Like, it's different.
Plus, they can go get more money. They usually can go get more money elsewhere. Someone's desperate. I need a defense. I need a rusher, pass rusher. I can go get Blake Purchase. I'm gonna give him more money, right?
Cal is like, yo, you can come start right now. Kentucky's probably like, you can come start for us right on now, and we'll pay you more money, and you get to be a star.
Right. It's just like NFL free agency at that point.
Yes, it's
a bigger role and more money. It's not. Yeah, exactly. You can't pay 44 players starter money. You're going to run out of money.
Yes, and there's only one ball to go around.
Exactly. And someone like Purchase would be the guy probably in 27, but like you said, he doesn't want to wait. And but they're also recruiting cats, right? There's more 4- and 5-star kids coming in. Maybe someone comes in and they're the next Kayvon, and now Blake Purchase is behind that guy or sharing reps with that guy. Whereas he can go somewhere else.
What I would like to see, though, is I would like to see Oregon's passing game be a little more dynamic than it was this season, because and granted, you shouldn't really play to this, but I do think that Oregon also does need to, because you've recruited so many highly recruited wide receivers, that you do have to put some into the NFL as high draft picks. Granted, Troy Franklin's doing a great job in Denver, but I do think that you got to, because you're starting to put him out at every other spot, that wide out is one position. And I do believe that this season, that because you ended up, because of injuries, and then you had to lean on the run game so much, that this season was probably a little bit of an outlier, that I would like to see, if Dante Moore comes back next year, that he be around like 3,500 yards plus passing. Like, I think that would be ideal.
Yeah. Okay. Let's shift into that discussion. So players have till Wednesday to declare for the draft. Dante Moore, as of the recording of this podcast, has not yet made a decision that we know of. All signs seem to have always pointed toward him coming back. And it sort of seems like that all these other dudes coming back, that maybe they're coming back because they think Dante is, and they're going to be able to make a run. I, for one, hope he comes back. One of my big things all season was that he just wasn't at the level he needed to be to elevate a team into true national contention. So that also means he's not ready to go in the NFL and play for an awful Raiders or Jets team or someone else drafted in the top 5 and handle that. We can point to Marcus Mariota coming back after his redshirt sophomore season. We can point to Herbert coming back after his junior season. Them and their families knew that they weren't ready maturity-wise, and even football wise to handle being that guy. Because the NFL quarterback is just no joke. It's just insane. It's the toughest position in team sports, no doubt. In any team sport you can come up with, there's so much pressure on you. And to be, 2021 and you're the number 1 or number 2, 3 pick, and you go into a huddle with 30, 32, 29-year-old grown-ass men like, all right, you got to lead us. You're the number 1 pick. You got $50 million. You got that endorsement and this endorsement, and you can barely get the play out your mouth because it's 1,000 times more complicated than what you were doing in college. So I hope Dante returns for his own sake and definitely for Oregon's, because if he comes back, the window might be open. It might be open. I might even declare it open for the first time since 2014 if he returns. And as I've said before, when I declare it open, I've done it 4 times. Ducks have made it to the finals twice. You go.
Okay, so I believe that I agree with you. It is best for Dante's interest to come back. The rebuttal or the retort that people have given me is he's going to be a top 5 pick. You can't pass that up. Actually, you can. It's actually easier to make that decision now than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Much easier, because let me break it down for you. So now Dante Moore, for a base salary, is going to make at least $4.5 million plus endorsements and all that stuff. He's got Nike, he's got Beats, he's got other stuff. He'll probably be in the neighborhood about $6 million this season if he decides to come back. So, and you're like, yeah, but he would get 45 or 50 guaranteed going to the NFL. You are 100% right. But listen to this. Number one, if he comes back, he only has, 18 or 19 starts in his whole college career.
Something like that. We got 15 this year. I think he's got 20, but go ahead.
Yeah. Quarterbacks with under 20 starts or 20 or under starts, them going to the NFL has resulted in utter disaster except for Cam Newton and the boy who went to Miami and then Tennessee, Tannehill. And Tannehill also, he didn't start, but he also played a lot of games at wide receiver. So he started a lot of games at wide receiver at Texas A&M, and then he moved back to quarterback. So that may be a little bit of a different story. But Cam Newton is pretty much the only one but he did get starts in JUCO. He got, you see what I'm saying? So he did get, so he was still starting. It just wasn't in power 4. And so number one, every single year, the NFL slotting for rookies goes up. So people talking about all the money that he's going to miss, he'll actually make more money because his skill set is not Anthony Richardson, because he's a really good passer and all that stuff, where all of a sudden people are going to change their opinion about him and his throwing ability between now and next year.
Right.
So he's likely to be a top 5 pick next year as well. And then the slotting is going to be higher. But here's the most important point. I believe if Dante Moore goes to the NFL right now, his chances of getting a second contract, like a starter second contract, we're talking these $300 million deals, is low. If he goes back to school, I believe that his chances of getting a $300 million contract for his second deal are significantly higher. And that's what you have to sell him on is that, yes, you can go to NFL and go get the money now, but will that lead you to your ultimate goal? Because I don't think that that's his goal. I don't think his goal is just to be drafted high. I think he wants to go to the NFL and be a very good quarterback. And sometimes you have to have the right people around you to tell you yes, you can go, you are highly talented, but that's not going to be optimal for your future.
Right. So the top 3 picks right now are Raiders, Jets, Arizona. All 3 looking for quarterback, except, I think Arizona might be ready to move off of Kyler Murray. I don't know, but they could be. And then after that, Tennessee's 4th pick, gone. They already took their quarterback. The Giants have their quarterback. Cleveland. So Cleveland's a place where maybe he can land as well. Washington's got their quarterback. So if you look at the top 7 picks, you're looking at either going to the Raiders, Jets, Arizona, or Cleveland. Yeah, or Cleveland. So those would be the 4 places to go to. I don't know if I'd want to go. Raiders, I think it was, Raiders are a circle. Tom Brady's Tom Brady's running things there, though, right?
Hold on. Here's the problem with the Raiders. Their offensive line this year was atrocious. An atrocity to mankind. So, and we know that Dante hasn't operated well under pressure like that.
Right.
So that's another thing.
He's gonna struggle.
Yeah, it would be different if he were guaranteed to be Jordan Loved, but Jordan Love was a 2/3 down into the first round, and they were intending on sitting him for years. So if he were going to go to that situation and be a top 5 pick, I'd tell him go ahead. But that's not going to be the case.
Maybe the franchise will be smart enough to bring in a veteran. The Bears, when they drafted Justin Fields, they brought in Andy Dalton. I mean, they showed the intelligence to do that, but not all franchises. Oh, and wait, Atlanta signed Cousins and then drafted Penix, but still, they had a veteran there.
Aaron, what do you think the chances are of an NFL team drafting in the top 3 when their team stink, allowing giving a kid multiple years to redshirt?
No, not multiple to redshirt, but at least having a veteran to start the season, and
listen, he needs a full
until this kid knows what he's doing.
Bro.
That was the plan with Herbert, and then Tyrod Taylor got injured. He got stabbed in the heart, right? he got stabbed in the lung accidentally or something like that with a needle. So teams try to think that way. I mean, I think we've seen that, but not multiple. I don't think I agree with you. You're not going to do multiple that high. But if we know he's probably not ready, NFL teams are going to know he's not ready. If one of them just throws him out there on a bad team to get his head kicked in, then they're just idiots.
They're going to do that. They did it to Bryce Young, and they knew that the offensive line was terrible. And they almost, if Bryce Young wasn't older and resilient and had all those starts, he probably would have folded too and got benched. They screwed the Carolina Panthers, damn near screwed up his career.
No,
and now that looks like, I believe the Ducks believe that he is going to come back, but you don't know until he tells them. But it is a good sign that more players are coming back, because they may all be like Ohio State did last year. Let's go do this together.
Right. Okay. Let's shift over to the other quarterback they brought in, Dylan Raiola from Nebraska. After 2 seasons, 2, I think, pretty productive seasons as a freshman and a sophomore. I like his potential. He definitely improved his second season until he broke his fibula against USC. 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks, 72.4% completion percentage. I like that.
Aaron, here's the thing I will tell you.
Wait, hold on. Wait. He's coming in. He's either going to back up more. See, this is what's interesting about it. He's either going to back up Moore, or he would be the starter if Moore goes pro. Or do you think they would go get someone else to start because they want a red shirt and sit Raiola his first year no matter what?
The intention is to red shirt Dylan Raiola.
Even if Moore's gone?
Even if Moore's gone.
So who are they going to get?
Gone, Oregon's bringing in another quarterback.
Okay.
If Dante Moore leaves, they're bringing in another quarterback.
All right.
You can book it.
Book it.
I
said book it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Raiola needs to get in shape. And mind you, this is a kid I've known for a long time. So, this is not something I wouldn't say to his daddy. This is not something that he needs to get in better shape. He needs to stop cosplaying Patrick Mahomes and just be himself. I'm not, bruh.
No, I'm not. You didn't say anything wrong. It's just funny. It was funny. It was a great line, George. I'm giving you credit.
Okay.
I'm laughing with you. That was a great line.
And then because he has arm talent, there is but he's a statue. He's gotten sacked more than I think anybody else. And part of that
54 sacks.
Yes, he holds on to the football. And also that 72%, a lot of this is very Brett Hundley 72%. A lot of behind the line of scrimmage throws. A lot of short, deep ball inaccuracy is there. So I believe that a year of redshirting, getting in shape, humility, that now he's got a shot. So I was 100, and I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard that he was hopping in the portal, I knew that him and his dad wanted him to land at Oregon. I was not a proponent of that. I was like, yo, absolutely not. Especially if Dante goes to the league. I was like, no, he cannot be the starter. Like, he cannot be the assumed starter. But to then understand that, like, I appreciate the fact that him and his family recognize that he needs or should need a year of development. That is exactly what Dante did. I think it is smart. I have 2 quarterback sons. The older one, who's in the portal now, I would have done something a little bit different with. And then my younger one, I see the vision clear, buddy. And there is, so like, let's say that he was a top recruit and he was able to go to Oregon or any of these other top schools. That wouldn't be a guarantee that that's what we're going to do. We might go to like Fresno State. We might go to, you know what I mean? Like we might go to somewhere else. So now you can get a year of experience or do what Nevada's coach Choate said. He's like, come here, play well, go get a big contract.
Right.
Like that. So as a parent, as a kid, you got to figure out like, oh, should we go to Nebraska just so he can guaranteed be the starter? And you have a season or like where it didn't go well, or you can have a season like Jaron Kiwi Sakapuateli had at Cal. It was a good year, but it had some up and down moments, but he's showing promise.
Right.
So it's a slippery slope, but all parents now, Aaron, in recruiting, because it is so much harder to get recruited out of high school now and parents are looking at, they're like, I have to play early in high school, right? But that's not what it takes to go to the NFL. So I tell parents this all the time because they're like, oh, well, we got to get on the field early.
Got to be a 4-year starter.
In college, the NFL does not care about 4-year starters.
No,
they don't. At quarterback, they care about over 20 starts for sure, and especially when you get into the 30s, they feel better. But when it comes to high school players, like they all want to play early because it's easier to get recruited the earlier that you play. But in college, you just have to play well when you're on the field.
Right. 100%. So Raiola went from 67% his first year to 72. Yards were less, obviously, because he played fewer games. Touchdowns went up, though, despite fewer games, from 13 to 18. Interceptions lowered from 11 to 6, but of course, fewer games. Passer rating from 130 to 160, basically. So he definitely improved year 1 to year 2. Redshirt that kid behind Dante, he could be, and if he gets in shape, he's got to get in shape. I'm not trying to trash the kid, but you're 20 years old. You're looking like Phillip Rivers out there. I'm sorry, that's inexcusable. You're not. You're eating horribly, and you're not working out like you should.
Yeah.
There's no way, because he's not naturally that big. I mean, he's a big kid, right? But he shouldn't. What is he? 6'3", 230. Yeah, I mean, he's got to get in better shape. And I'm sure Oregon has a great, strength and conditioning program, so we'll get him in shape. All right, so real quick, Mateo back, Tuioti back, Poncho's back. We're assuming DeCorian Moore is coming back and McClellan. Sadiq is on the fence, it sounds like. We'll see what happens with him.
I would tell Sadiq, if he don't take his ass to the NFL, I will punt him to the NFL. I mean, of course, as an Oregon fan, I would love to have him back. But if you're going to be a first-round pick as a tight end, sayonara, buddy.
I tend to agree. I tend to agree. But
before they change their mind,
Jamari Johnson's pretty damn good. They just got a kid in the portal from a former 5-star tight end who's number 3 tight end, allegedly. What did you say? He's not for sure.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Olish.
Oh, yeah, he's from Penn State. He's coming. So that's and then they got. I'm sorry, I'm still learning all these recruits' names, but they got the 6 foot. Yeah, that's a 6'6" kid, right?
Yeah.
He's a monster. I've never seen him play, but he's a big kid. So they're going to be set at tight end.
So the only player, the only reason why they went out and got Olish is because Vander Ploeg hopped in the portal.
Okay.
And Ploeg hopped in the portal because he just didn't see himself playing there. And and there could be watch for potential for Saliapaga to hop in the portal too.
Okay.
But I really hope he doesn't.
So some young offensive linemen showed promise when they had to play when guys were injured. I assume,
Fox Crater.
Right. So I assume though they'll probably add a couple of veteran offensive linemen. So
they
and
already
in the back
added one. They added the tackle from Yale. He's coming, and now they don't want to add. They won't be adding another offensive tackle unless, because they like what they've seen out of Fox Crater, it would have to be an elite kid, like a super elite kid. And there is one that may be coming off the books.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that may be coming on the board.
On the books, okay. And then your running back, obviously, position looks pretty good with
you got to get
a
running back though.
A veteran guy, yeah. You have to add some depth to that. But your top two look pretty damn good. So that team right there could be pretty special.
Yeah, because you're not going to be playing very many freshmen.
Right. You're going to be older. You're going to be more mature. And if your quarterback comes back, you're going to be. I think he'll be a Heisman candidate if he returns. Okay, so the defense, Thieneman's on the fence, right? But you got Flowers, you got Finney, you got Mixon, you got the two defensive ends, you got both defensive tackles, you got Bear and you got Amari. Like that's huge. Yep.
And I do think the pass rush needs to get a little bit better for next year, but Nasir Wyatt is going to factor in a lot more. I didn't like the true freshman kid hopping in. Like, I thought that was weird. Haberschmidt, I forgot his name. Starts with H. And I didn't love that one because I'm just like, bro, you just got here. Like, give it an off season to develop. Jeez Louise. And then I wouldn't worry about Thieneman so much, because if Thieneman goes to the league, then we're going to get the Coy kid from Minnesota. But I do believe that Thieneman is probably gone, but you don't know for sure. And I would like to, so you got a replacement for him. Oregon feels good about corner. They're going to be looking for a nickel though.
If that's right, if he's back too, right?
Yep. And you got offered, like, like, you feel good at corner. You don't necessarily feel great at nickel right now.
Right.
And then
so basically you went from 4 returning starters to about 14.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
and the quarterback. Yeah. That's a different animal. That's why I said that the window might be open.
You're right, Aaron. Be quiet. Leave me alone.
But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the whole offseason's done before I determine if the window's open or not. I know it'll be a big moment for you. You'll be so excited that I determined it was open. All right, real quickly, if everything goes the way we think it's gonna go, next season, playoffs, absolute given. There's no way. I think there's a bunch of injuries. Dante gets hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
I cannot see them not making the playoffs. The question is, can they make a run? And what I think is going to happen. So this year, it became clear that you needed to run the football to help Dante. I think next year, with a year of maturation and learning all the lessons he learned from this season, and with the returning receivers he's worked with before, and Evan Stewart could be back, and they may add someone in the portal, who knows, that we're going to go from the running game helping Dante to Dante in the passing game being so much of a problem that he's going to be helping the run game. Because I definitely believe that let's just say the regular season alone, he throws 35 plus touchdowns just in the 12-game regular season. Or he has at least 35 total touchdowns, let's say. Yeah. His completion percentage is going to still be in the 70s, and he's going to have several games. Not Rutgers. I don't care about him lighting up Rutgers, right? Rutgers wasn't covering anybody. That was like 7-on-7. He's going to have some big games against some really good teams where he carries the team. He catapults himself. He was front runner for the Heisman after Penn State, which I thought was just totally premature and ridiculous. But he's going to get to that point next season because he's going to be consistently that guy all season long and absolutely go to New York. So I'm saying for sure playoffs. I'm saying Dante's in New York. I'm saying he's an elite quarterback. He's going to be I got to look at the rest of the field, but probably the number one pick in the 2027 draft. I'm leaning towards the window being open to them at least getting to the national championship game. But I'm gonna wait to declare that until later this summer or in the summer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, see, I wait to declare these things until like I will go so far as to playoffs and go so far as to playoffs. But the thing that like health matters. Like you got to get through spring ball. Like I look at if Dante starts the season and finishes the season, like that's usually the way I judge things. If your star quarterback starts the season and finishes the season, then you're usually in pretty good shape. if he doesn't, then you got some problems. Like you can fade injuries other places. But when you look at this schedule, I think that it actually got a lot more difficult, Aaron. It just got a lot more difficult because I think Oregon clears Boise State, Oklahoma State, and Portland State, and even Illinois and Michigan State pretty safely. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you got Michigan. I'm glad that game's in Autzen because Kyle Whittingham is a problem. Yeah. Like he is a problem. So you have to assume that that's a potential problematic game. Like that game, even though you should win it, that's a game you can't just play around.
They'll be ready.
Yeah. Nebraska, you clear Northwestern, you clear UCLA, you clear Washington.
Washington fans talking trash are so childish.
Yeah. Especially Softy. Like, dude, you have nerve. Like, they've just bashed DeMond Williams so bad, and then they're like, come on, bro.
Oh, we're taking that.
And then I think at Ohio State, obviously, that's going to be a game. And then you got at USC, because it's at USC, like, I still think you clear it, but road games are always tricky sometimes. But Dan has been very good on the road.
Is Illinois going to be any good?
Yes. I mean, they're continuing to get better, but I think because Illinois is one of those very physical football teams, they're like Northwestern with more talent.
Right.
I just think that Oregon can handle their physicality. They're going to be if you turn the ball over, then yes, you can lose that football game. But if you play clean, you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Those last two games will be interesting.
11-1.
So
next year.
So losables at Illinois, Michigan.
No, I wouldn't go.
You don't think it's not even
Illinois.
losable? Like that's just okay.
No.
All right. So
I think that you would have to play very poorly to lose that game.
Okay, so then Michigan, Ohio State, and USC.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, I'm saying floor 10-2, ceiling 11-1, still, but
yeah. Well, I think the ceiling is 12-0, but I don't know if you really would. I mean, I think a veteran team can handle 12-0. But a younger team can't really handle 12-0. Like Ohio State with a young quarterback, they're young at some spots. It was hard to handle. You know what I mean? So I do think that you have to handle, like, have a team that can handle 12-0. Like Indiana handled 12-0 very well, very well. And so you might, So because they've taken losses, because your team is veteran. And they took losses this year, I think that then you can handle an undefeated team, an undefeated season next year. But I would probably say most likely 11-1, but 12-0 is a possibility.
Okay. Whew. That'd be the second time ever for the Mighty Ducks. All right. That's it for this.
Hey, but we definitely need to start having questions about Dan Lanning when everybody's expecting them to be at worst 10-2 next year, and back in the playoffs. This is exactly who we need to start asking questions
because
about.
There's a magical coach out there that if you brought him in, they'd go 12-0 every season and win the national championship.
Yeah, exactly. Who?
There's someone out there. Oregon just can't get him. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It makes my head hurt. All right, that's it for this part 2 of the postseason That's Confidential podcast. As soon as Dante Moore makes a decision, we'll try and hop back on and break it down for you. Thanks for listening.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.